This is my marketing background, and my I took courses in branding and marketing, but really, honestly, I threw all that out the window, and I just had fun making this latest. Well, I'm not having fun about the Epstein files. I want those Epstein files released, and this is why, especially why I did a very special video trying to once again remind everyone about the Epstein files, and we're not going to let this go. We have to know who these rich elite pedos are. How come a Canadian walking down the street in America will be arrested for looking suspicious, or if a Canadian is in a tour of the White House, next thing you know, a Canadian accidentally goes into one of those top secret forbidden war rooms in the White House. Next thing you know, a Canadian accidentally goes through government files. I thought Americans and Canadians were supposed to be allies, you know? So why won't Americans allow Canadians to just go through the White House, walk around naked perhaps, look through the government files? Okay, I never did that. But I'm just saying, like come on. Canada and America are supposed to be allies. Why do Americans think it's okay to keep secrets from Canada? I mean, obviously, Canada keeps secrets from America. I mean, we got like top secret government buildings that we'll never let Americans see. Canada in the middle of Canadian forests. We got all these top secret research Canadian facilities, partly sponsored by China, and these top secret government Canadian research facilities in the middle of Canadian forests. And those are definitely off limits to Americans. Americans will never be allowed to see what Canada has been working on in terms of research, science, and research and technology. Um, well, China knows obviously because China owns Canada. But anyways, so basically, yeah, I made this short video, and I'm going to play it because I think it's important. This is not just about the Epstein files. We are sick. I think there's a lot of people that agree with me. We are sick of both parties, both political parties, both the Republicans and the Democrats. And especially the reason this short is was made was because while I was kept criticizing the Republicans about how they handled the Epstein files, a whole bunch of people came in and started defending the Republicans, saying the Democrats were just as bad when it came to the Epstein files. So you know what? They're both bad. I agree. I definitely agree with that. Both the Republicans and Democrats are bad with the Epstein files in terms of releasing them and and doing justice. Now, listen, I'm actually leaning more towards Republicans if I had to vote between one of the two. Well, I'm Canadian, so I can't vote, and I probably shouldn't vote. Doesn't never stop Canadians before from voting in American elections. But anyways, listen, okay, come on. I'm just joking. I've never voted in an American election. But here's the thing. America controls the world, okay? And if America is going to drag Canada into another war, that definitely is our business. That is Canada's business. I don't want well, they're not mine, but anyways, and they don't like me, but anyways, I don't want my Canadian soldiers to be dragged into another pointless American war, and I don't want to see my Canadian brothers and sisters. Well, they're not my brothers and sisters. They hate my guts. I don't want to see. Anyways, you get my point. Okay, so this is Canada's business. Okay, the president of the United States of America will control almost the future of the world. This will affect Canada, and if Americans expect Canadians to help you guys the next time you guys start a pointless war over oil, you better be nicer to Canadians, because and please don't invade us, because I also know that you could do that too. But hey, we got weapons. Okay, I listen. I can make a really mean snowball if you American. Anyways, so yeah, I'm partly joking. But basically, for everyone who is sick of both the Republican and Democrat parties, I think there's a lot of people that are sick of both Republicans and Democrats. Let's give the independents a fair chance. Let's actually take the independent party and make them into something other than just other than it's like you go on Netflix, right? You go on, there's all of these, there's millions, there's like billions of options for TV now, for television, for movies. There's like billions of choices, right? There's, and not just that, but to even to not to watch television as a choice, to go outside, to play soccer, to play football, to go to the store, to go to the mall, what kind of shirt, there's millions of choices, billions of choices in life. How come in life, there's billions of choices about other things, but when it comes to choosing the next president, we only got two main parties? Because let's face it, in the past, the independents were like, they never had a chance of winning, right? So that we need to change that. We need to bring a third option. We need to bring a third, and not just a third option, because, the Democrats and Republicans, they always say, oh, there's independents too, but we always know that it's always rigged against the independents. So we got to make the independents, we got to give them a fair chance at winning. We got to actually give independent voters the belief that if they do vote for independent, that it's possible that an independent president could win. And we need to restore that faith in independent voters, because explain to me how there's all these choices in life, all these flavors of ice cream, choices of clothes, choices of TV shows to watch and movies. But then when it comes to political parties, there's only really two main choices, and that's Democrats and Republicans. Well, that's going to change. And independence rising. This is like my marketing, branding background coming in. Independence rising hopefully will change America for the better, and Canada and the world, because obviously the things that America does affects the world, like I said. And so Canada, we don't want to be dragged into a pointless war over oil, right? Unless Canada is going to get some action on that. No, I'm just joking. No. But knowing our Canadian politicians, they probably agree with that. But no, I'm just joking. I don't think we should be going to war, even if it's for oil, even if it's economically advantageous for America. I do not think that Americans and Canadians should be risking our lives in any pointless war over money which only benefits the rich elites. So our Canadian soldiers, our Canadian brothers and sisters will not be dying in a war over money just to make the rich elites in America even richer. No, they will not. So yes, are Canadians meddling in American elections? Probably. Am I doing it right now? Probably, but I'm not going to admit to anything. But in my defense, like I said, we are trying to protect not only the interests of Canada, but the interests of the world. And God forbid, America tomorrow declares war on those nice Swedish people. Okay, like I've been shocked before with 9/11 and everything. I wasn't really shocked about 9/11. Canada actually knew that was going to go down. But anyways, I've been shocked before about many things. Okay, like when Ginger left the Spice Girls, I've been shocked before. So, yeah, we have to protect not just Canada and the United States, we have to protect the world. Because what if America, suddenly after America declared war on, America went to war with Germany, America went to war with Japan, America went to war with Korea, America went to war with Vietnam, America went to war with, even had like Cold War with Russia, right? So we have to protect those nice Swedish people. What if America tomorrow decides they want to declare war on Sweden? We have to protect those nice Swedish people. So yes, Canada, we do care. It is our business. And I'm going to go ahead and play this short and stop talking. And this is a good reason why maybe I should start preparing scripts when I do my live streams, but I just wing it. And maybe that's not good. No, yeah, no, that's a very American thing, winging it, right? And what has wings? The bald eagle. Well, they don't have hair, but the American bald eagle, the symbol of America, the American bald eagle has wings, right? Freedom, wings, freedom. I'm winging it. I'm not reading off a script. So let's go ahead and play this short. And Independence Rising. Independence Rising 2028. And then I'll explain why I made this short after I play it. Okay, so that is obviously on Independence Day, the movie from the movie Independence Day, when Will Smith, with Will Smith, and it was a great movie. So that's like it's a meme, right? It's a meme using the Independence Day thing with the White House and anyways, so but the point of the meme, the point of the short, which is on my timeline, is about rebuilding America. Okay, clearly, and I'm not the first one to say this. I mean, I've literally heard this nonstop every time I talk to my American friends. Well, I don't really have American friends. They don't really like me anyways. Anyways, every time I talk to Americans, they always say, "Oh, we can't stand both the parties are corrupt. They can't stand the Republicans. They can't stand the Democrats. They're both corrupt. They're both corrupt." Maybe what America needs, okay, is a new, well, the Democrats aren't, sorry, the independents, right? See, I'm Canadian, so I don't really know too well, but the independents, I just remember that Simpsons episode where it made fun of the fact that independents never win, right? So it was always between the Republicans and Democrats. So basically, independents were never given a fair chance in the past. They were never considered seriously capable of winning, and that is an indication that it is rigged. And so another reason which kind of maybe inspired me to make this short is because you remember the episode of Friends? Yeah, a lot of my references are from TV. I don't just watch TV. Definitely left the house. But we all watched Friends. Like that was a main sitcom, at least for people over 30 and even in their 20s. We all watched Friends, right? So, remember the episode of Friends where Phoebe and Monica is a control freak, right? Kind of like one, particular party, if you know what I mean, in America. Monica is a control freak, and then Phoebe, she's like a free spirit, right? And then they're planning a party. They're literally planning a no, like not like a political party, but they're planning like a party, like where guests and people come and they have fun, right? A party. They're planning a party, and then Monica, who's a control freak, wants to like plan everything part of the party. And then Phoebe, she wants to do something too. She wants to like participate in helping put the party together, right? And so then Monica, because she's a control freak, she doesn't want to relinquish control to Phoebe to let her do anything, right? And then finally, Monica says to Phoebe, okay, you could do cups and ice, right? Which is kind of, Monica really kind of meant it as insulting. And so Monica was like, okay, if she has to relinquish control of something for the party, she'll let Phoebe do cups and ice, right? And then Phoebe, rather than, decline the offer or the opportunity, rather than argue or whatever, she turns around and she says, you know what? Yes, I will do cups and ice. Yes. And then she made that party. They couldn't stop talking about Phoebe's snow cones, her snow cones, and she had that machine that does ice and the dry ice machine, whatever. No, no, actually, I know it wasn't a dry ice machine because I think that might, yeah, you're not supposed to have dry ice in front of people. Anyways, I'm supposed to be a scientist. I'm supposed to know this. Anyways, but you know what I'm saying. Phoebe, she turned around and she said, "Oh, you want to give me cups and ice? That's it? Cups and ice? Okay, yeah, I will do cups and ice. Yeah. Oh. It's like imagine I'm Canadian and I go to America and they're like, oh, you think you could like do marketing for Republicans or Democrats? Ha 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 ha. And then the independents would probably say no too. But anyways, I'll be like, independents? You're gonna put me with the independents? Yeah, I will. I will make the independence. You watch, right? So that whole Phoebe episode, it was like pretty much a Phoebe episode where she like takes the cups and ice and she rocks the cups and ice and makes it the best. And then it's the hit of the party. That is the kind of spirit and attitude that I love in Americans and Canadians and people around the world. People who could like take an issue or a problem or take a small opportunity or like people who can build businesses with like only $500 in their pocket. Like people who can start off with nothing from scratch. People who can start off literally with nothing from scratch, $20, $500. People who can start off with nothing and build a successful billion-dollar business starting from the ground up, starting with nothing. right? You don't have to start off as a rich billionaire or an oligarch in America. You don't have to start off as anything. Anyone with hard work and dedication can take easily $20 in their pocket and build from scratch an empire from scratch, right? And so maybe that's what needs to be done with a new political party. We need to take the independents who were in the past laughed at by both Democrats and Republicans. Oh, you're an independent voter? You'll never win. Ha 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 ha. Right? So we're gonna take the independents and we're gonna say, oh, you think that independence will never win? Oh, we'll show you, like Phoebe in that Friends episode with the cups and ice. Oh yeah, yeah. Independence. Oh yeah, we'll make independence win. You watch, right? So basically, yeah, that was kind of my inspiration for making this. And like I said, we are sick of both parties. We're sick of how the Republicans handle both parties. I mean, they both mishandled the Epstein case, the Democrats and Republicans. Both parties dropped the ball on immigration. The Democrats opened, like, well, actually, every time I try to blame the Democrats for the immigration problem, the people turn around and tell me actually that the Republicans were just as bad when it came to immigration for certain reasons, which I will not get into. But anyways, Canada has been overflown with immigrants. So there's a lot of, don't get me wrong. Listen, if I had to vote, honestly, and I don't want this to be biased. I feel like the independents, and this is another good point I wanted to bring up. I feel like independents should equally go after Republicans as much as they do Democrats. So this isn't going to be some tricky strategy where the Independence Rising has a secret alliance with the Democrats, and then at the very last minute, the Democrats announced that they're going to make the independent president their vice president, and then suddenly the Democrats convince all these independent voters to suddenly lean Democrat. And the next thing you know, the Democrats pull it from the Republicans because in this very last move, the sneaky smooth, like, the Democrats are known for being sneaky. And the very last sneaky effort, the Democrats suddenly announced that because they see how powerful and the Independence Rising Party is becoming, suddenly the Democrats say, okay, if Democrats win, we will make the Independence president our vice president. And suddenly they get all the independent voters on voting Democrat, right? So this isn't some sort of sneaky little trick at the end where we're going to, bring it in for the Democrats. No, we really want independence to win. We want, especially in my lifetime, I would like to be alive to see an independent president win. Okay, we are sick of both the Democrats and Republicans, although that would have been a good strategy too for the Democrats. We are sick of both the Democrats and Republicans, and we want we want an independent to win, okay? And if the Democrats need to throw some funding in the independent, no. Anyways, no, we could do it with $20. Like literally, the independent, just like any American in America, can start off with nothing and build an empire, like with the true American dream from scratch. Literally, just like any American in America from scratch, from nothing, can build an empire starting off with only like $20 in your pocket. And you could turn that into a $1 million empire. That is the American spirit. And so just like that, Independence Rising, they probably won't, they shouldn't, but they probably won't take any handouts or big donations from big donors from Democrats or Republicans. No, Independence Rising, like true American spirit, will build everything from the ground up and win. That's right. That's right. Just like any American in America can build an empire, $1 million empire with just $20 in their pocket. Independence Rising, which was previously laughed at by both Democrats and Republicans. They think that independent voters are a joke. Now we're going to take independent voters and independents and actually give them a fair shot at actually winning the presidency, to which both the Democrats and Republicans are going to be scared in their boots. and be well, I don't think the Democrats wear boots, do they? I know the Republicans wear boots. They wear those cowboy boots. Anyways, I'm Canadian, so I'm just full of American stereotypes. But basically, we're gonna make both the Democrats and Republicans wish that they didn't take the independent voters seriously, because now in 2028, independence rising, we will give independent voters a real shot at winning, and let's get, like, like I said, and then I'll replay the clip again, and then I'll probably wrap it up. But like I said, we have millions, billions of choices when it comes to television, movies, flavors of ice cream, sports like hockey, football. Well, Canadians usually play hockey. They don't really play football because they don't. Anyway. Canadians, Americans, we all have these millions of choices when it comes to TV and stuff, and movies and music. But then when it comes to political parties, we only got two main choices: Democrats and Republicans. And then in the past, the independents were considered, they weren't taken seriously as that could actually win an election. But now that's going to change, okay? We're going to take the independents, just like Phoebe took Cups and Ice, and she made it into the best party on that Friends episode. We're going to take Independence Rising, and we're going to make it the best party. We're going to make it an inventive, great, wonderful party, and with vision, and with promise, and with change, real change, and not just promise change, but real change. And we can take someone, for example, just like Trump was president, who was a businessman, wasn't a politician. They made Trump president. Why not a neuroscientist next? What if a neuroscientist was president, right? What about an astronomer? What about an astrophysicist, right? An astrophysicist like Neil deGrasse Tyson. What about an environmentalist, right? What about a science person or a mathematician? What if the next president of the United States was a brilliant mathematician? So that's what this new party will be for with a vision, will be for everyone who's sick of both the Democrats and Republicans, everyone who wants real change, and everyone who wants a cool, fun, and let's make this fun. Life is better when it's fun. Let's have fun, right? Just like that Phoebe party with the whole ice cups and ice. That was fun. Let's make a fun new. Let's reinvent the independent party. Let's reinvent them, make them fun, make them cool, edgy, hip, whatever it takes to win that election. Well, not whatever it takes. Obviously, we shouldn't like do what the Democrats and Republicans do, because then that would make the independent rising party just as bad. So no, not whatever it takes. Maybe we should actually have some morals and integrity and respect, and not just bow down to donors. So I think independence rising, yeah. Let's rebuild America from scratch, and let's show the world that the real American spirit, that anyone from any background with any amount of money can build a successful business and win in life. So I'm gonna play this short again, and here we go. So. Okay, so let's go to the comments. This is a good. I just saw the comment come in. Doctor. No, I don't think that's a real doctor. Anyways, someone. I think that's just a streamer name. But anyways, someone or a YouTube name. I mean, I don't know what you are. I don't know if you're a real doctor. But anyways, it says Dr. Came in and said, "Ha ha ha ha! What if the president was an actor from The Big Bang Theory?" Let me address that question actually. So this actor from The Big Bang Theory, she is a real neuroscientist. She actually is a neuroscientist in real life. So she's not just an actress who plays a neuroscientist on The Big Bang Theory. Mayim Bialik is a real neuroscientist. She actually has a degree in neuroscience. So you just said, "Oh, ha ha, ha, what if the president was an actor from The Big Bang Theory?" No, she's a real neuroscientist as well. She's not just an actress. Mayim Bialik is a real neuroscientist. And maybe, how cool would that be? That would be so cool and epic if the next president of the United States was a neuroscientist or a nanotechnologist or an immunologist, maybe not a microbiologist. Anyway, no, yes, yeah. Why not the next president of the United States be a hardcore microbiologist? Why not or an astronomer or a environmentalist or an organic chemist, right? Or an inorganic chemist, of course, inorganic chemistry. So basically, yeah, let's open up the party. Let's make independence rising. Let's make it endless opportunities for America. Anyone can be president. Well, not anyone, right? Obviously, not Canadians, but like me, I can't be president of America. That's the thing, right? So Americans, they make it very clear. The main people that cannot be president are criminals and Canadians. Criminals and Canadians. There should be a billboard just reminding everyone, just to remind everyone in America that the people who are ineligible to be president of the United States are criminals and Canadians. Criminals and Canadians and crazy. No, wait a minute. Crazy people can be president of the United States, but not Canadians or criminals, right? In fact, crazy people can vote, actually. So, anyways, but criminals and Canadians are not allowed to be the next president of the United States. So I guess in that sense, there are boundaries and there are limits. But in terms of Americans, there are no limits for Americans. So if an American neuroscientist, if an American, anyways, I was joking about the whole Canadian thing, but anyways, I'm Canadian, so it's okay. But basically, that's it's true though. I mean, in America, Canadians and criminals are not allowed to be president, right? Obviously, for obvious reasons. Especially, you don't want a Canadian being president. Trust me. Anyways, it's bad enough we're meddling in your American elections. Anyways, no, I'm just joking. But anyways, no, seriously. Like I was saying, Canada. We don't want our Canadian soldiers to be dragged into a pointless war. We don't like Canada. We have just as much to lose with the next American president. So if America wants cooperation with their number one ally, Canada is supposed to be allies with America. If America wants cooperation with Canada, who's supposed to be their ally, then yeah, we should. Our opinions should be taken seriously. We shouldn't just be brushed aside and be like, "Oh, you're Canadian, so your opinion doesn't matter." Yeah, if you want Canada to help Americans the next time they wage war on some innocent country like Sweden. Well, I don't know if Sweden is so innocent, but anyways, those nice Swedish people. The next time America wages war on a country like, for example, those nice Swedish people, and you want Canada to come help. Well, if you want Canadians to come help with our puny military, Canadian military, then you better believe that we have a saying, we have an opinion. Even though we can't vote for the next president, our opinions matter, right? And I also think you should listen to what the Russians have to say. I do think also the Russians have some pretty good ideas as well, who could be the next president of the United States of America. So anyways, the point this is why I should start preparing scripts next when I do live streams. I just wing it. No, I just wing it like a real patriot, And what else has wings? The American bald eagle. The American bald eagle They have wings. And what is the symbol of freedom? Wings. And what am I doing right now? Winging it. I'm winging it with this whole live stream, just talking. Not there's no script. Okay? So that's the true spirit of America. A Canadian who's winging it on a live stream, meddling in American elections. That no, I'm just joking. That's the true spirit of America. No, no, seriously though, the true spirit of America is the fact that anybody, and this was the main purpose of America, was it not? No one's gonna disagree with me on this. That anyone from any background, from any faith, from any economic status, with no money in their pocket, can go to America or be in America. Anyone from any background, any amount of money, any race, any background, can take even just with $20 in their pocket and make $1 million successful business. That is the real American spirit, and no one's gonna disagree with me on that one, I bet. So yeah, I think that we should give Independence Rising a fair shot, independent voters a serious chance. And I think it's fair. And like I said, there's millions of choices for TV shows and movies and flavors of ice cream. There's millions of choices out there for everything else. Why is there only two main choices for political parties? That's absurd when you think about it. There's only two choices for only two like, obviously the independents in the past were never taken seriously because they never really had a chance of winning. But we have to change that now. In the 2028, we got to give the independents a real chance of winning. And so, let's have a third option, right? When there's millions of flavors of ice cream, millions of flavors of, well, I don't millions of flavors of ice cream, but anyways, probably millions of TV shows, millions of movies, millions of music to choose from. Why is there only two main political parties to choose from? That seems absurd when you think about it. So let's bring a third viable option, right? And let's make it so that the independents are not just an afterthought or a joke, like, oh, the Democrats and Republicans laughing at independent voters. Oh, you're voting independent, you'll never win, right? Just like that Simpsons. I'm basing this off the Simpsons episode where they make fun of the fact that independent voters, like people who try to vote independent, it's like throwing your vote away, and that's not fair, right? So I'm basing this off the Simpsons episode, which is very American. So basically, yeah, America, we should have a third viable option, Independence Rising, um, which will be for everyone, not just for um, will be for everyone, right? Obviously, I'm Canadian, but what I'm saying is that Independence Rising will have the spirit that anyone, because I could very well, as a Canadian, I could very well move to America, be an immigrant, right? I could be like one of those I could be one of those immigrants, right? From Canada. I could be like a Canadian immigrant. I could go to America with like 20 bucks in my pocket, and then suddenly as a Canadian immigrant and become an American citizen. I could be a Canadian immigrant, go to America, become an American citizen, which is 20 bucks in my pocket, and then turn $20 into a successful $1 million American business, which is like the true American spirit. So yeah, it could qualify for me too. Am I an American citizen right now? No, but I'm just saying that it could happen for me as well, for anybody from around the world, right? You could be from outer space. You could be from outer space. You could be an alien from another planet and move to America, immigrate to America, become an American citizen, and with just $20 in your pocket and some other alien stuff, with just 20 bucks in your pocket, you could build a successful $1 million business, right? And win. So that's the point. And yeah, so the Independence Rising, in my opinion, and this is like my branding, marketing background, it should be for everyone who wants to revive that American dream, and the fact that with irregardless of how much money you have, irregardless of whatever background you come from or your past, irregardless of that, you could turn your life around. You could make America better. You don't have to stick with the same old BS. You don't have to make the same mistakes you made in the past. You don't have to Make the same mistakes you made in the past. You don't have to stick with the same BS. You don't have to keep being lied to and then expecting different results, because every time you vote Democrat or Republican, we keep getting lied to. The world keeps getting lied to. With 9/11, which 9/11 definitely affected Canada, because our Canadian soldiers were brought into one of those wars right after 9/11. So definitely Canada, we do have an opinion on this. This is in our Canadian interest to not be dragged into a pointless war again for Canada. So yeah, we do care about these issues. And so Canada, the world, 9/11, COVID, right? Obviously, the next president of the United States, if hopefully he's not like a hardcore microbiologist, to anyway. No, you know what I mean. So, anyways, hopefully the next president of the United States, if there's another pandemic like COVID, hopefully they handle that much better, right? So what I'm saying is, obviously, whoever is the American president, it affects the world. It affects Canada. Which is supposed to be your American allies. It affects Britain, another American ally. It affects Israel. Whoever the next American president is affects Russia, affects North Korea, affects Iran, affects those nice Swedish people. So whoever, or I don't know if those Swedish people are so nice. If I went to Sweden, who knows what they would do to me, anyways. But never judge a book by its cover. All I'll say is never judge a book by its cover, unless the cover is Mein Kampf. Unless the cover is Mein Kampf, never judge a book by its cover. And with that being said, thank you for coming to this live stream. That's it. Do svidania, adios, auf Wiedersehen, sayonara. Aloha and aloha, sayonara, ciao, do svidania, adios, sayonara, and au revoir. And that's it. Goodbye.